Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Kyla Hannington. I'm the Public Outreach and Engagement Division Chief with the Prince George's County Office of Human Rights, the county's civil and human rights education and enforcement agency. Our office investigates complaints of discrimination. We combat human trafficking around the region. We ensure all people can access county government services in the language of their preference. And we provide opportunities like this one for learning on areas of social justice importance. With me today as co-hosts are Tiana Davis, the outreach specialist with the Office of Human Rights, and Dr. Audrey Lau, the adult and senior services specialist with the Prince George's County Memorial Library System. And it is our pleasure to welcome all of you to another Lunch and Learn. The library and the Office of Human Rights have been bringing you Lunch and Learn since the summer of 2024. And the series has hosted guests from NASA scientists and astronauts to medical doctors to historians to social scientists and much, much more. And today we are thrilled to welcome a really incredible artist across so many mediums to talk about his work and the connection between and through social justice and the arts. Pierre Sylvain is a self-taught multimedia artist represented throughout the country in both solo and group shows. He works with different mediums, including paintings, tile, stained glass, textile, and found objects, and has been recognized publicly for his advocacy and impact reflecting current social issues. Mr. Sylvain is the gallery director and curator for the Charter Oak Cultural Center, serving the mission of elevating the importance of art in healing society by providing access to highly skilled artists and students who may otherwise not have easy access and visibility in the greater community. His award-winning art is most recognized for how it makes people feel and brings communities together. He was the recipient of the Middletown Art Advocacy Award. His works are in private and public collections, including at Wesleyan University in Connecticut, Charter Oak Cultural Center, Middletown Town Hall, Russell Library, all of those are in Connecticut, as well as in Washington, D.C., as well as in Washington, D.C. Pierre, it is an honor to have you with us. Thank you so much for joining us today. Could you take a few moments to start us off? Sorry, go ahead.
Guys, thank you so much for having me. This is a great honor for me to be here with you and to give me that platform. I can talk about my art and what art can be like can be empower people. I mean, just to show the power of art. It's such a great thing, and to just give me that platform, I can do that. So I cannot thank you enough. And your introduction too, that was such amazing. So I don't know what I can add more than what you just said. So, but I will try to just add like a few things here and
Yeah.
there. So my name is Pierre Sylvain, and I am an artist based in Connecticut, and I've been working as a full time artist for over 20 years, and I work in different medium. But the first I start with painting first, found object, and I end up branch out to mosaic, stained glass, and textile. And my work has like different aspect because there is an aspect of joy in it too, but I think the aspect I like the most about my art is like the fact the way the art try to connect people together. For like example, there is a couple of pieces I think you show on your website where like I said love matter,
Mhm.
I matter. because my work never have an intent to divide people. It's always have that thing to like bring people together. So that's mean, when like people said, are you an a activist? I would say, I am like an activist for like make community together. Have
Mhm.
people loving each other, because if you look at my work deeper, so the whole essence of it is to have us to like communicate, because I always believe we have more things on like on like common than what we like divided us. So with my work I try to teach people that thing, why don't we see how we can connect it instead of getting
Mhm.
divided. I mean, even like I mean, there is a series I did where like it's called the middle passage and the underground railroad. And what I like the most about that series, but I mean, because art, everyone can inter can interpret the work the way they want. But for me, because I did a couple of portrait of Frederick Douglass, a Toussaint Louverture, Harriet Tubman, but my intent to like do that, it was like most likely to show people, why those people succeed against all odds. You can do it too. So it doesn't matter if you are black, white, yellow. You know what I'm saying? I just show them to just highlight the accomplishment of those people who were born into like slavery, and to
Mhm.
see what they accomplished through their life. Because I was talking to my kids, because I have two kids. They both, I mean, my son just graduated last year, and my daughter, she's a sophomore now. And I was trying to like telling them, when you look at those people life, and to see the way where like without education, they learn to like write and like read, what I'm saying, but when you see us where like we have access to like high school, all of that, college, what I'm saying, so I feel, the thing is more like complex than that, because there's so much thing. But I feel like what you have to say. Wow, we can like do it too. So that means you cannot looking at those ads against you. You know what I'm saying? You say, what? I'm just gonna go out there and like do it, because so it doesn't matter who you are. You know what I'm saying? Because even like me myself, even like if I feel like down, I just look at those people. I said, wow, those people didn't have a break at all, but they be able to accomplish great things. So I just don't want to losing track, you know what I'm saying? So that's when you guys can just like stop me if I if I lose. So if I lose track. But that's what I just want like people mostly take about my work, that that's a love, and to be able to love each other, to think, every day I can do it, because even me as an artist myself, one thing I learn by making art, regardless what you do, there is no shortcut. You have to work extremely hard. You
You
know
know,
what I'm saying? So it doesn't really matter. So yeah,
well,
go ahead.
I was going to jump in there actually, and I know we have a lot of things we want to get to, but
Mm-hmm.
you talk about having to like learn, and there's no shortcut.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I think is so amazing about your art is that you work in so many different mediums.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that you started with painting, right?
Yes, that
And
is correct.
and so can you just talk to us? And I think, so those of you who are watching, we are
Mm-hmm.
going to share some of Pierre's
Mm-hmm.
art in just a minute. But for
Mm-hmm.
just now, just stay with us, because can you talk to us, like, your painting, what was the next thing that you did? Did you go to mosaics? Did you go to, like, what was your move from painting? What came next?
So the thing who came next, that was mosaic who came next. But this is something I always wanted to do for the longest time. And for some reason, I thought that might be too difficult to do. So it just happened. My father-in-law, he was doing stained glass as a hobby,
Okay.
and he left us like a bunch of stained glass stuff. And my wife one day said, honey, why don't we take like a couple class? They have those things where like you take like a couple of
Yeah.
class. But I never like to take classes, period. I mean, when it's come down to like art, so I just don't want to do it. He said, come on, that's gotta be fun, because we have all of those things here. Maybe you can learn how to like use it. I said, okay, sure, because one thing I learned, you have to always listen to your wife. That's number one.
So you hear that, everybody? Number one thing he learned: always listen to your wife. I just want to make sure, I want to echo that. Okay.
Yeah. So, but that was the best thing I can ever did. So I went to that class, and the guy was like teaching some like basic thing. But when I was there, so the guy in his table has a huge mosaic pieces there, and I was looking at that. I said, "Oh my God, this is nice," but I wasn't really paying attention what he was teaching, because it was some basic thing he was teaching. But I was looking at that. I was so fixated at that mosaic piece. And I said, who made this piece? He said, actually, I, made it with a lot of kids. For some reason, it's almost like a light bulb, just like thing. I said, wow, I think I can, do that. So that's mean I am not afraid to like do it no more, because I mean, I don't know, cause like you said, that's a bunch of kids. I said, wow, that's cannot be that difficult. And I said, how did the kids do it? He said, I just tell them how to put those, pieces. And I, went, back at home, and I make like a piece, just, when I came back home. So now I've been working on that in that medium now for the past 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know that you have, I know it's heavy, but
Yes.
because we're talking about mosaics, can we take a minute? Can you show us the mosaic picture that you have there behind you?
Oh, sure.
I know it's heavy, so people watching at home, give him a second, because he's got to pick it up. Okay.
Oh, sure.
I feel like a little, like, I don't want anyone to pull anything. Be careful. Okay. But this is just so incredible, everybody. Look at what he has made here with mosaics. Wow.
Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. It's great. Thank you so much. That's great. We got a good view. Yeah.
Yes. So when I went, so now I assume you're gonna ask me, how do I get to like textile work? So the textile work is almost like not like quite similar situation, but that just to proving you how community work so well. So there is a guy who made a frame for me. I was at his house, and I always fascinated with textile work, because I am so I mean, I love pretty much every kind of work, like textile and every type of medium. So I was very fascinated with it, but And I said, so I went over his, house, and he was making like a huge frame for me. And he was telling me his wife is an, artist also. And he said, Pierre, do you want to see my, work, my wife work? I said, sure. So I went upstairs, and so he was he was showing me those work. And it just happened, I saw his wife was making textile work. And I said, oh my God, I love those work. And so I was talking to his wife. I said, why you don't make like more? Because those are awesome. He said, Pierre, I don't make any textile work no more because of my hands. And he said, actually, if you want to make textile work, I can give you all the stuff I have. So she gave me all the stuff he has, book, a wool, everything, and it just to show you how like community can come together, And so I didn't have to like pay for them. So I just bring them with me, and I start watching a bunch of YouTube. So I watch a bunch of YouTube, and they said you have to like do this, do this, do that, do this, and so I start that way, and that's why I start making.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so that's why I start making them.
I think as we're talking, I mean, I want to hear from Audrey and Tiana, but I'm tempted now to share some of those textile pieces.
Sure.
I'm going to share my screen because you're talking about textiles.
Mm-hmm.
Audrey and Tiana, again, I can't. You're going to have to just direct me.
Sure.
So here we go, and just give me one moment, everyone. We're going to share my screen, and I'm hoping you're going to see some of Pierre's textile work now. So I'm just going to scroll down, and you should start seeing some of his work. But I love this that you taught yourself from YouTube videos.
Yeah, I think YouTube can be such a great tool. Yeah, I learned pretty much everything by YouTube. So this is needle felting. Yeah, this is a needle felting. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So this goes back into the social justice and the arts, like highlighting these great leaders.
Yes. I mean, just like a second, if you look at this, at this quote too, look at, this is a Frederick Douglass quote. He said that, I will united with anybody to do right and with nobody to do wrong.
Yeah.
For me, that's such a powerful quote.
I know on your website you say, in my work, I like to refer to culture and history in pictures.
Yes.
And like, I was wondering if you could talk more about that statement, because on the page Kyla was just on, there's a photo that I really love, and it's like a mom braiding her child's hair. And I saw that, and I was instantly transported back to my childhood.
Oh, thank you. Actually, I call this one childhood memories. Because when I was growing up, that just the way it was. Your mom put you between her legs and and start coming.
Yeah.
You're like here, and for the most time you just hate it. Because so
because it hurts.
Yes, that's why. Yes, this is the piece, because you just doesn't like it, and even like for me, because I have a couple of sisters, and I can remember how much, and I said, wow, that's like an image I should put on like wog. And the reason why I put it on like wog too, because I think wog is such an how do I express that? Because it's such a thing you see a like a like because a lot of women is like making wog, and that was a part of that culture where they were sitting at like home and they just like making them, you know. And when like they are like making them, they will tell like story, you know. And I said that whole thing fits so well, you know what I'm saying, you know, as a piece of work instead of like a painting, you know what I'm saying, you know,
Yeah.
because there is that very warm feeling culture thing, you know what I'm saying, in it, what I really enjoy, you know. So that's
Yeah. And then right below, or not right below, I think two below that one, there's, I think it's another felt work, but it's a giant man. And I
which
wanted to know
one?
how you did that. It's like, oh, who is it? It's a tall
Let's see.
man. I don't know
Yeah.
who, not that one.
Okay.
It is
Okay.
this one.
Okay. This one. This is the first needle felting I did. That was the
Oh,
very
wow.
first needle felting I did. And what's really funny, I tried. So that's Martin Luther King.
Mm.
It's like 6'7", I think. It's very tall. And what's really funny, believe it or not, that was the most. I mean, between all the artwork I made, he's the most popular artwork because I use like a what you call that thing, not a I use TikTok because you know they made like such a good video because you know I can use like TikTok. I will make a couple of video and I will use them for my Instagram.
Mm.
So I make a video of you know him just you know to just have something I can put you know somewhere else. But he just happened. Uh, I talked to my son the night before, like you know, my son and I. So since like he's been in college, we talk once a week. So if he called me twice, that means so he is gonna ask me something. You know what I'm saying? You know. So if it's you know what I'm saying, like you know, he needs something. So so I spoke with him last night, and so and he you know called me the next day. I was on a meeting, and I said, "Oh my God, what's wrong?" Because usually, if we talk the night before, you know, he won't call. And I said, "Oh my God, what's wrong?" So I cannot get, you know, I you know couldn't wait to get out of that meeting and like call him. So when I finally called him, I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "Dad, your you know video went viral on a TikTok." I said, "What's you know that mean?" He said, "You have like over like 1 million views." I couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? You know, you know, so when I you know went because you know usually when you know people say like nice thing, I will like always say thank you. But when you have like 50,000 thing, I said you know I am done. Forget it. So this is the you know story of that big guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So that was like the most famous work I ever made. It got so much view. Was like yeah. So.
Do you have a like because I noticed some people appear in multiple mediums. Is there a favorite that you have that you really enjoy? Someone that you really enjoy really making art about? Martin
You
Luther
mean
King or you know, is there a favorite subject that you have? Because I've noticed that you have quite a few that kind of transcend all those mediums.
that's true. That's true. Uh, you know, I think it's just something I really cannot describe. Would just tell me you need to make that on a different medium. To be honest with you, well, I just feel that that the need is you know it's almost you feel that conversation is not over. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, well,
Uh-huh.
so that
Yeah.
yeah, you know, you should keep like doing it, and you know, so I will like usually do it on a different medium, but some of the figure I will make, I just feel that's it. You know what I'm saying? We're like, okay, we done here, but some other people, you feel more that to just go further with it.
Yeah, I really just love the fact that you can find some people in multiple, and it really shows that you have different thoughts about them at different times, and I just think that's really great. And I love the idea of a conversation. I feel like that's something I do when I pick out books of my favorite if there's a new Harriet Tubman, I'm gonna read it. I don't care if it's
Yes.
a picture book or whatever.
Mhm.
Because I'm fascinated by her, and
Mhm.
I just think there's some people that really touch the heart of you over and over. Their thirst for freedom or
Mhm.
truth or whatever it is that really drives love.
Mhm.
Martin Luther King, especially. I mean, I will never get tired of seeing him in art. Photographs and art,
Mhm.
and it's just someone that I
Mhm.
really, I
Mhm.
see an image and I just, like you said, it's hard to put into words. So pictures are really great.
Oh,
And
thank you.
I love art in that way. It's so great.
Thank you so much. I think. I mean, I, I, I mean, that's like the thing I was like saying, where like you don't like realize how much we have on comment really, instead of, because I feel it takes so much energy to fight, where like it's so easy where you can love someone, instead of trying to have that a negative feeling. And I mean, for me as an artist, because I try to like to do not go in that negative feeling, because when you let your mind go there, even something good happen, it's almost your mind try to bring you back there. You know what I'm saying? And I always work so hard to say we're not going there, so we're gonna staying in that happy place. You know what I'm saying? And like the other night I was talking to my daughter, and I was saying to her, I will never say like, oh my God, you should be grateful for like what you have. And it's taken me years to just realize, well, like we all grateful for what we have, but I mean for like what we have, but to have that capacity to really enjoy what we have. That's what that can be like a test itself. You know what I'm saying? You can have everything you want. You feel grateful to have that, but can you enjoy it? You know what I'm saying? And I just realized that some people, they have that where like they can have everything, but they cannot find that happy place to really enjoy what they have. And we have to be very compassionate to them. You know what I'm saying? It's almost the same thing. I mean, I did a show at the Shadow Cultural Center, and so it was like, so there is a couple of people where like who's like dealing with like mental illness or whatever, but it's just amazing where like you have to take that seriously. You know what I'm saying? Because you cannot say, oh, how come you like cannot get up and do things? No, person just can't. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't have nothing to do with nothing. What you have, what you don't have. You know what I'm saying? And just talking to different people doing different art, that just make me really have that compassion to listen to people, to just meet them where they are. You know what I'm saying. So it's so.
I just really want to like highlight something that you said, because it struck me so powerfully, that this, to be able to be grateful for what we have and to enjoy what we have. But when we meet someone who doesn't have that capacity to have compassion for them,
Yes.
I'm not sure that that's something, I'll just speak for myself, that that's not necessarily the spin that I have on it.
Mm-hmm.
And hearing you say that, it's like, yes, that is exactly, like, to have the heart for other people.
Yes.
And the fact that you have that, and I think that that shows I mean, first of all, in your spirit, as you're joining us here today, like you just shine with that warmth, which it's like a honor to be in your presence today. But I think we see that in your art. So like one of the things, so for those who were not backstage with us, I'll just tell you that I learned about Pierre because I got interested in this type of art called rug hooking, which is where you have a piece of like linen and you have little strips of yarn or cloth and you come underneath the linen and you pull it up. And so I am making, so just like full disclosure, I'm creating like askew pictures of snails underneath mushrooms and being like, look at this amazing thing I made. And then I was on a Facebook group and Pierre posted, he's like, this is my first rug hooking. And I was like, what in the world am I looking at? It was so incredible. And there was no askew snail or mushroom anywhere on the piece. And so I want to show some of your rug hooking because I think it highlights you came to this new medium and bringing that heart for others that I just talked about, that as you go to a new medium, the first thing that you make, I'm going to pull up what I remember without checking with you. So we did not talk backstage about this. I'm going to pull up what I think was the first piece that you made. And you can tell people if this is true and how maybe this was the choice of trying this new medium and what it means. I'm sorry, I've got to find it. Just one second. What it means that this was how you're choosing to express yourself in this medium. Because I think it shows that heart you have for people. Let's see if I set myself up with an impossible task. Hold on. It was either that or it was, I think it was this. Okay, here we go. I'm going to share my screen. This is what I think your first one was in rug cooking. And you can figure out if I'm a true fan or not based on what I come up with. Is that?
No, that's
not the first one.
No, that was the second one.
Okay, hold on. I'm not done yet. I have one more guess. Okay, let me see if. No, okay. Was it the pool? Was it the pool player?
No, that was.
Okay. What was? It was Van Gogh was the first one.
Yes, that was.
And you have that, right? Do you have that with you?
Yeah. No,
okay, let me.
It's in my studio.
Oh, it's in your studio. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the first one. Okay, so this is the first one.
Yes.
Which is so, first of all, the incredible work. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. And then let's go down here to this number 2. Sorry, just one moment. Look at this. This work is so extraordinary and detailed and full of life and movement. And, you know, for those of you who haven't had the opportunity to try rug hooking yet, I'm a big advocate. But what I would say is it's like an easy medium in the sense that there aren't a lot of different steps.
That's true.
It's a very difficult medium because to have detail work when you have it's really difficult to make something that's extraordinary. So Pierre, look at you. Like you're just like, you know, talk to us about going from mosaics and felting to this very different and on one hand simple, but on the other hand very challenging medium to tell these stories of social justice and diversity of humans.
I mean, that's it. Okay, so what the first part of your question I can respond then.
Yeah. So just like, how did you let's talk to us about how you got to rug hooking. Let's just start there. Okay,
so that's what I was telling you. That's when I went and to that guy who was making frame for me.
Okay, so did he give you he had rug hooking stuff too? Okay.
His wife.
Okay.
Gave me all those stuff because she couldn't do it no more because of her hands.
Okay.
So she got like the frame, a lot of wool, and she gave me like a lot of books too. But I didn't really look at those books that much. I just go to YouTube. It's so much easy to like.
Yeah.
And that's how I start. And plus too, one thing I always telling artists too, because I said art it's all about freedom really. So that's mean you cannot restrain yourself, and you cannot care to what people think. And I have a couple of young artists who will come to my studio. They want to be like a professional artist, whatever. The first thing I will tell them, I said, this is one thing. If you think you're gonna do that for like money to be famous, that's not for you. Look at something. But if you feel compelling, you have something inside you want to say by any means. And that's what for me, when people talking about the definition of success, even for you guys, so for me, I mean, as an artist, it's to have time to do your work. So that means if you can get up every day, you make art. So that means you are very successful.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That there is no. I mean, for me, I always think that way. But it just happened. You can make money doing that too. But the first thing. So just to go back to your question, where like why I get to do that, because I said to myself, why not? You know what I'm saying? Because if I feel doing it some I mean something, why not try it? And plus two, there is a lot of artists. It just happened, like you know, there is a lot of artists I admire, and I just realized they work on a lot of different medium too. You know what I'm saying? And I said to myself, why not to do not try different things? And when you are making work, you're just making it for yourself first.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So whatever people think, it doesn't matter. So that's what one of the things I will tell someone to. I said, if someone said, oh, you're not, I mean, what you are making, it's not good, and you just start making it, that's mean you didn't want it making it to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you want to like making it, you wouldn't care what like someone say. So I mean, for me, I never really care what like someone say. Like I feel like trying something, I just want to try it. So
That is great advice for all of us. I love that. What I would like to do, I know Audrey and Tiana have questions, so I want to hand it over to you. But I also was wondering if maybe I could share my screen and just have that social justice page where we see some of those social justice artwork comes up, and just so our viewers can see some of your work.
sure.
But maybe Audrey and Tiana, like, feel free to ask questions on top of
Okay.
that. But so I'm
I
going to
actually
share
have
my
a
screen.
question about the section with the Underground Railroad. Could you pull that one up real quick?
Yes. Yep.
One of the things I love about your art is the color. You use color so brilliantly, and yet this particular series is black and white.
That is correct.
And I was just curious, like, how you've evolved with color over your career. Like, when did do you have a blue period like Picasso? Or it's because some of these in this particular series are just so moving, and I think that this is some of your best stuff, but it's
I agree.
black and
I
white.
agree. Yes, I agree. I think, do you know reason why I did them black and white? Because I was looking at the different artists who make those type of work, and I didn't want to make it the same way. You know what I'm saying? I said, let me see if I can find something different. And so far, I make over, I think it's a series, I make so far over 25 paintings, and I, haven't showed them. So I've been working in those for the past 7 years.
Okay.
So I never showed them. So
Because
yeah.
I love, I don't know if Kyla can get to it, the Toussaint Louverture, I think it's down a few more. It's one of my favorites. And I can't tell you why. but it's, I mean, they're all really, really moving. And I love the texture in a lot of them. I actually went to a gallery and touched a Van Gogh once, and the guard was like, "We're just gonna pretend you didn't do that." But I love texture, and a lot of your pieces, I would love to touch, and that's not allowed.
Oh, no problem at all. I don't really care
Okay.
To be honest with you. I don't really
Right
care.
here, Kyla. This is
Yeah.
one of my favorites.
I don't really care.
This is such a beautiful, this is so amazing. But thank you. But I love the work, your use of color. And so do you have a favorite color, or like, do you have a favorite that you're like a current favorite?
You know what? I don't think I have a favorite color, to be honest with you. I mean, when, just to be like, to respond to something, I will tell people blue. But, I think I love all the color. It just like depends, you know what I'm saying? How, I feel, Yeah, I love black. I love yellow. Sometimes it's red, it doesn't have, I don't. So I think every color, I think.
Kyla, you can go to some of the more colorful ones if you'd like. I wanted to show the black and whites because I think they're just fantastic.
Yeah. Do you also sculpt or work with clay?
Yeah, those I did them. They're not a clay. They are a paper mache. Yeah. They are like paper mache. I was gonna try to like do that, but I realized it's so messy, so I didn't want to do it for that particular reason. Yeah.
So how does one get the confidence to move from medium to medium? Like, I'm asking as someone with no artistic skill. I can't paint. I can't do
I
rug
think
hooking.
you can. But anyway, okay.
I agree. I think she could too. I think she just needs to start.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Well, it's hard to get started when you look at this.
Mm-hmm.
But
Go ahead.
no, just how do you get the confidence to move between, like you said, you went to a class with your wife and then you fell in love with mosaics?
Yes. I think it's something like inside of me I want to express. And that desire is more than anything else. You know what I'm saying? Where like I am, let's put it this way, I am not afraid to like fail because I know I can try again. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is. Where like I really don't care. Because if I feel like doing something, I just like do it, and that's it. Bottom line. So this one, that's my wife and my daughter. So they are next to the. Yeah.
Well, I guess one of the questions I was curious about, as an artist, where would you like your work to be shown? Like, what's your dream show?
And my dream show will be, I mean, so we've been like talking on, about that for the past, for the past few years. There is a museum here. I would love to show, work at a museum. So I think that will happen, but I don't know why, because it's not like up to me, so that's like up to them. So that will be like a dream come true for me. But even like do that, guys, but even like talking to you guys, it's like a dream for me too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just to invite me to talk about my work, it's such a pleasure to share my work with your life audience. Like I said, I know the work. Show it at a museum. That's like there is a lot of gain you can get from that. But talking to you two guys, for me, it's like a dream too. I be honest with you. I really mean that. Just to give me that, platform where I can share. Because, at the end of the day for me, you know, I just live on the moment. And I'm so happy talking to you now. That's what matters. You know what I'm saying? What's come next? You know what I'm saying? It's come next. But just to be with you guys, with your audience, with you, it's such a pleasure. I enjoy every minute of it. I really,
Thank you.
To just telling you the truth. Because, sometimes people have that thing, they said, oh my God, what you want to be. But, sometimes when you like get there, you just realize it's not that much fun you think it is. But so far, I am having fun. I want to be here. You know what I'm saying? It's just nice to just talking to you guys.
I've never really done much with mosaic, but I go to a church every Sunday that has beautiful mosaics that are like way bigger than me, like hanging on ceilings. And your work really inspires me. I'm a cross stitcher, so I think in squares. So I really love. I think I'd really love to turn one of your paintings into one of your mosaics into a cross stitch, because it has the same. It's really fun. But I love the idea of our libraries. We usually have 2 commissioned artworks at each of our new buildings. It's kind of a requirement of the county. And I just love how we showcase local artists and everything. But I could see your work in libraries some of the ones that we picked out to show on the website specifically were related to reading. And I think that means a lot to you to put that in your work.
That's true. Yeah. Thank you. Because there is a piece I think you guys showcase too, where in your website, it's all about reading. That's my the daughter, because she loves to read. So that a piece we call love, but love, learn, and read. So that's all about her, because she reads so many books, and I, I don't read that many books. It's like the book I can really read, they have to have something to do with like art. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, everything just like has to do with like a art. But she read it.
I'm going to try and get that up. I want to show people that particular one, but just while I'm looking for it, I do want to share there's an audience comment and question. So the comment is this is from Dr. Stewart. I just want to take a moment and let you know that Dr. Stewart's one of our regular viewers, and she joins us with her class. So there's actually a whole high school class watching right now with Dr. Stewart. And Dr. Stewart's comment is, some of your artwork brought a thought to her mind, which is that silence is often very loud. And she follows that thought up with this question of like, do you have a favorite medium? If you have a favorite medium, can you speak to that?
Sure. You know why? I don't really have a favorite one, but it's almost like I will just wake up for some reason. I feel like I want to work on something. Because right now, I don't know if you see that. I didn't share that with you. I've been doing what you call tufting wog. I use like a gun. I don't know if you ever see that thing, but I've been using that for the past few weeks. I don't really have a favorite one, but if you was asking me the most relaxed medium to work with, that will be the needle felting, because it's so easy. If you make a mistake, you can just pull it out and just start over. For me, yeah, so this is a needle felting, and for me, that's the most relaxing. Like I said, I think you should try it, Kyla. This one, it's so relaxing because if you make a mistake, you don't have to like pull things. You just pull it softly and you just start over. Yeah, for me, that's the most.
Okay.
Yeah, but as far as how one, it like depends how I feel. To be honest with you. So,
Was that your daughter in the felt
yes,
piece? That okay, that's so
yes, that's
nice.
it called. Yeah, yeah. She's a sophomore now. She's a very, very smart girl. She's yeah, yeah. She's in Boston. That's where she
Okay,
goes to. Yeah, she
yeah.
goes to school. Yeah.
And you brought two more pieces to show us, right?
Mhm. Oh yes, this one because I am a huge Vincent Van Van Gogh fan, so
Mm,
I did a lot of pieces based on Van Gogh. I did some smaller pieces but I used I mean, it's like the same thing where like I because he was such an artist, where like
mhm.
he didn't care, so he just cared about making art, and even like the way he was like making them, he didn't respect any form, any nothing, so he just make it how he really feel. So I did that piece. It's almost like an homage to him, and I did it with needle felting because when you do the needle felting, you can almost make them like sculpture. Like you can put very depth on like the face. So I am just gonna show you so you can see what I mean. Uh, it's here.
Wow. Wow. That's a huge piece.
Yes, yes. Can you see it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's great. Yeah. Wow.
Yes. What's it on? Like, what's the backing of that?
What's that?
The backing, is it on like a is it similar to the tufting? Like it's on a, is it called an Aida cloth?
No, do you know back in I did it on a regular canvas.
Oh.
And what was really interesting, and before I did that, I talked to a couple of people who've been like working on needle felting for like 20 years. They said, Pierre, you cannot do that. You have to use the normal backing. I said, I am gonna try. so and since then, because I just figured out, because if you use the normal backing, that means you have to stretch it, find a way to just put it. I said, you know why? Let me see if I can do that on a normal canvas so I don't have to, deal with that thing. And people said, no, you cannot do that. I said, all right, so let me try. And we try. It's a work, Actually, one of the women, I mean, she's like teaching. Actually, she's teaching needle felting. She said, Pierre, I think I am gonna start doing that too because it's so much easy to do. You know.
We are almost out of time, but just before we close, I wonder if you could share a word out there for people who, I think all of us, I want to acknowledge that for a lot of people, maybe they're feeling a little extra stressed right now. And, that just a word of encouragement about making your art. And I think you've said it, in other ways about like, just make your art, that your voice, like how can people feel encouraged to go out there and just create something new?
But because when it's come to like create, I think the only thing I can say, if you feel compelling to make something, just go out there and do it. because it's not like something you can do because your friend is like making art, because he won't be authentic. You know what I'm saying? You know, and when it's come to like art, you know, because a lot of people think, okay, to make art you need like a lot of skill. You don't. You don't, because I see the most like a amazing art I see. It's not like that. Doesn't have nothing to do to that skill, but you know you can see the artist is looking somewhere else, very deep, you know, to make that. So that's mean if you feel compelling to say something, go out there, make it. Because I feel there is no better feeling, the feeling when you create something. It's just amazing. I mean, it's just like, it's almost like a, because you want to, you know, do it over and over. Maybe that's why artists are so, like, you know, they make so much stuff because you want to feel that feeling over and over. Because when you are done, it's such a great feeling to see you take something from nothing and you bring it there.
Yeah.
It's such a joy. So
Yeah.
so yeah. So you just want it. So that's mean if you, that's how you feel, just go out there and make it that. Go and you can experiment that special feeling.
And I think the joy of creation we see in the work that you do. Like your work is really so beautiful, Pierre. And
Oh, thank you.
you know, unfortunately, we are at a time, and I do mean unfortunately, because I feel there's so much we want to talk to you about, and you know, but it has been such an honor to host you. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here to share your work. I also want to just thank you for being brave, because you know you just get an email from a stranger who's like, "Hey, you want to come?" So we really just appreciate your willingness to join us under those circumstances. For viewers, please check out Pierre's website. We put it in the chat, but it's at pierresylvain.com. You can see more of his work. You can get inspired, and the stories he tells about social justice and using social justice in the arts. It's just what I mean. Pierre does it like nobody else I've ever seen. It's just incredible. Thank you for all of you choosing to spend your time with us, whether you're watching right now or you're tuning in on demand later. You are why we do what we do. And we have some more great things coming up for you tonight. Please join us for our solidarity. I don't know why I'm shooting. Apparently it's 1980s and I'm doing this. But anyway, please join us for our Solidarity Stories book group. It's held in partnership between the Office of Human Rights, the library, and Mixed Food Hall. We are going to be talking about Heather McGhee's The Sum of Us. That is at Mixed Food Hall in Mount Rainier tonight at 6:30. You're welcome. Even if you haven't had a chance to read the book, come hang out with us. On Thursday, we have 2 virtual events at 4 p.m. Please join us for a community conversation with representatives of the Prince George's County Police Accountability Board. And at 7 p.m., we are thrilled to welcome author Deanna Rayborn in conversation about her brand new book, Kills Well with Others. This is a sequel to this delightfully entertaining Killers of a Certain Age. So please check that out. You can learn more about those and all of our upcoming events by going to civilrights.mypgc.us. And you can also check out all the many things that the library has going for you every single day, including those events, by going to pgcmls. There you go, except without the question mark at the end. That will take you there. And so pgcmls.events/.info. Wow. Start again. pgcmls.info/events. Wow. Again, Pierre, thank you so much. Your work is just delightful.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate that. I really enjoyed that opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been an honor. Goodbye, everybody, except for Pierre. Stay with us, and we'll see you all soon.